right, we are recording. Welcome to the call, Thursday night. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking all things confidence. So first of all, I wanted to recognize a couple people. First of all, Keisha, she got a very big email this week that she will be recognized at Summit. She's going to be walking across the stage for advancing her business, and this is her very first summit, so that's pretty big by getting to walk across the stage, her first summit, being recognized, so that's huge. So very huge. Denise is also going to be going to Summit. She actually earned her free ticket to Summit, and she will be there with us. So her goal next year is to walk across the stage with us next year. So each year we're just going to keep adding people to walk across the stage with us. So I wanted to recognize those. So next year, here's the thing, guys. So Summit is coming up, in which those of you that don't know, Summit happens once a year. And this year it's in Nashville. I'm not really sure where it's going to be next year. Probably not Nashville. I've heard Orlando. I've heard Dallas, just different areas. But anyway, tickets will go on sale during Summit, and they typically sell out during Summit. And if you're a brand new coach, meaning if you've signed up with this month or last month, and you're working on Success Club, which means you're helping people, and you plan on earning your free ticket for next year, you don't have to worry about this, okay? But if you haven't, and you're a seasoned coach, and you've been coaching for a while, you need to snag a ticket, okay? Tickets, I think they start at $99, I believe is what they were last year. That doesn't mean that's what they'll be this year. Anywhere from $99 to probably $150. So you'll need to look, and of course in the coaches only page I'll be posting the link. Summit is what you need to get to. You need to make sure that you get to Summit, okay? So I'll be posting all that information as that comes in the next 2 weeks. So make that your goal to get to Summit. You know, you're probably thinking, well, I can't afford to get to Summit. You know, I can't afford to get there, to fly there, to pay for the room. Make it your goal to help enough people to at least pay for you to get to Summit, okay? If for anything else, to get to meet each other, right? And to have a good time together. But Summit is what changed my business completely. And it's just really neat to get to meet people that you've known like this through social media for a year, and then finally get to meet them in person. And then just connect with people that are like-minded. Is pretty amazing in itself as well. So that's coming up. Like I said, I'll be posting the link for the ticket sales. I'm sure you all will get emails, but if you're like me, sometimes you kind of skim through emails anyway, so you might not catch it. So I'll post it in our team page. So be looking for that as well. Those of you that are involved in the Revive training, that's going great. So you guys are doing amazing in that. I'm trying to really read through your responses and provide feedback that I feel like is helpful. So it is taking some time. I don't think I got through everyone's yesterday. So after this call, I actually have a call after this one, and then I'm going to get on there and try to give everybody feedback. Today's took some time, didn't it, to really think about your goals. I haven't actually written all of mine out because I haven't done that in a while. I used to do that every so often, to really sit down and just really think about what you want for your life. Like a lot of times you think of, you know, hopes and wishes, or do I really have goals? And until I became a coach, I never really did write down goals. And if you watched my live video when I was talking about the recognition and Summit and, you know, walking across the stage, like I really never, ever wrote down what goals that I had for my life until I became a coach. It were just things that I had in my head that kind of like to do, but, you know, I didn't have any action steps. You know, there was nothing that I was doing in my life to actually work towards those things. So coaching has provided an avenue for that. So with that Revive group, and if you guys, some of you coaches that are on this call tonight, if you're not in that Revive group, that's completely fine. But what I was finding, especially yesterday, Keisha and I were talking and she's going to talk a little bit about this too, is, you know, when our topic yesterday was about confidence and, you know, what are you confident in, or how confident are you? And just about every single person said, I'm not confident in anything, or I'm not confident at all. I have no self-confidence. And I was floored at that. Like, I was really taken aback that most of you did not have any confidence. And I kind of wanted to just talk about that, not just on a coaching level, but on a personal level too, because I've been there. Like, I do remember being at a place to where I didn't have confidence. And so there's a couple things to do when you lack confidence. And for me, especially, and I said I wasn't going to make this about coaching, but coaching is such a big part of my life, it's hard not to refer back, is a lot of times you have to fake it until you make it, right? Like, you have to act confident until you really are confident. And what I mean by that is, like, you're not lying and you're not telling the truth, but sometimes you have to just fake it until you make it. And so, you know, for me, sometimes it is, as far as, you know, your confidence goes, it's getting out of your comfort zone. It's taking action. And that's the number one thing. For, you know, there's a couple things as far as your confidence goes. Of course, personal development, and you'll hear me say that over and over and over and over again, because that is the number one way to build your confidence level up and to show you. One of my favorite books is You Are a Badass, and it shows you that, hey, you can conquer the world. You know, you can do all these things. You know, you are no different than anybody else, because a lot of the times I think we play the comparison game. And what does it say about comparison? Comparison is the thief of joy? The thief of joy. Yeah, I think, was it Natalie, you had a post about that the other day, and that is so true. Like, it is the thief of joy. We compare ourselves to others, or even sometimes we compare ourselves to where we were 10 years ago or where we were last year. And, you know, that destroys our confidence. And so we have to put our blinders on as far as that goes as well, because once we start doing that, we start thinking little of ourselves. And when we start thinking little of ourselves, then we have no confidence. And so personal development, you know, that's something that is non-negotiable, whether it's a book or audio. And, you know, in the beginning, I would think, well, I just need to read my Bible. And I still am a firm believer that you need to read your Bible every day. You need to do a devotional every day. But personal development is different than that. It's something that you need to do hold on, just a second. I don't think I can mute everybody for some reason. Hold on a second. There we go. Lost my train of thought. Sorry. But okay, as far as confidence, one thing that helps to gain confidence is sucking it up and taking action. So do a little reflection and think about maybe an area in your life that you lack a little confidence in. And maybe, you know, it's just talking in front of people, or maybe like you're socially awkward, because, you know, some people are great on social media. And like, even like we were talking about Summit, like meeting people for the first time in person. And I remember there were these two coaches that I knew only from social media. And I thought that they were the most outgoing people, extroverted people that I would have ever met in my life. And it was quite the opposite. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I would have never they were the most introverted. They're like, we hate social situations. Like we hate Summit because we don't like to be around people. And I would have never guessed that. They were like, this is so out of my comfort zone. Yeah, and Taryn's saying, oh my gosh, you just described me. Yeah, Taryn doesn't like to be in social situations. And you would never guess that by her posts on social media. But you do, like you have to do that. You just have to put yourself in those situations. So if it is with your coaching and you don't like to invite, guess what you have to do? You just have to invite, because the more that you do it, the more confident you get in it. And guess what? In the beginning, you're going to suck at it. Like, you are going to totally suck at it, but you're going to get better and better and better. And I was just talking to a girl on the phone today. I do a lot of calls with potential coaches. And this girl, she's from Pennsylvania, and I know, like, she's going to be an amazing coach. And so I told her that in my invite to her. You know, I sent her a message, and her name is Alana. I said, Alana, you know, I look at your posts, and I just think, you know, you're just like me. I want you to be on my team. You know, let's talk tomorrow at 10 a.m. And she's like, wow, you know, that was bold. Okay, I'm kind of busy. But yeah, I can talk to you at 10. So I talked to her, and, you know, we're just talking about, you know, different things. She's very interested. But, you know, before, I was nervous. Like, Keisha was one of the first coaches that I ever got on the phone with. And I was a nervous wreck. Like, I was nervous talking to her. And, like, when she asked me what my rank was, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to tell her I'm an emerald. I have to tell her that I'm just an emerald coach. And I was nervous about that. But guess what? Now I am not nervous at all. I am so confident when I talk to coaches. Why? Because I've done it. I've taken the action to do it. Now I would not think about not getting someone on the phone. And guess what? 9 out of 10 of the coaches that I get on the phone sign up, right? I got Lauren on the phone. I got Keisha on the phone. I got Taryn on the phone. Like, any coach on here. Brad, I got him on the phone. Like, any of my coaches that are on here that signed up, I got you on the phone. So if you haven't done that, you need to get people on the phone. And it's scary, and you don't want to do it. I promise. Like, you'll put it off. You're like, oh, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to get them on the phone because they're going to ask questions, and I'm not going to know what to say. Just be truthful and be honest. You're like, you know what? I don't know right now. That's okay. Let me ask my upline. Whatever. You know, even if in the beginning you need to get me or Keisha or your coach on the line. And it doesn't just have to be that. Whatever it is that you feel like maybe that you're fearful of, something that you're fearful of that's holding you back, just start doing it, because that's what helps to relieve that fear and build your confidence. Just like for me, I was fearful of getting on the phone and talking to a prospect. Now, if I never got on the phone with Keisha, would she have helped me to build a team? She would have gone with somebody else, right? And I would have never met her and never had that friendship, right? So, you know, it just shows you, like, you have to take those steps, and then you're more confident. And not just in your coaching journey, just in your life. So let's talk about that a little bit. You know, why aren't you confident in other areas? Like, somebody, even in the chat, or unmute yourself. Maybe tell me an area in your own life, not coaching, that you are not confident in. Everybody's super confident. Taryn, as a homemaker, I have been sucking at this so bad lately. I'm obviously not the person that's confident because I have a house cleaner. So I am not the person to tell about that. Okay. Here's the thing about that. I feel that's a tough one, Taryn. You put me on the spot there. But okay, as a homemaker, as a mom, as a wife, there are things that you don't feel confident in. And I think a lot of times, like, we start to put blame on ourselves, and you start to feel like you have to be perfect in everything, right? I know that I do that myself, and I start telling myself that I don't have it all together. Well, I don't. But, you know, I'm like, well, you can't even get the laundry done. You can't get the dishes done. And you don't have supper cooked on time. And, you know, the house is a mess. And did the kids brush their teeth? I don't know, the last time they took a bath. And, you know, that kind of thing. You start playing those things in your head, and that's what you're doing. You're telling yourself those things. Like, you're telling yourself that you're a failure, right? So you have to quit that kind of talk. Like, for me, in confidence, that's what I think about when I think, like, if I'm sucking as a homemaker, because I'm home with my kids a lot, I start to play that game, because I was just telling John today that the summer is almost over, and I feel like I haven't spent any time with the kids because I can be a workaholic, and I can just sit down at my computer, and I get this way at 6 a.m. and then I look up and it's 2 and I haven't done anything with the kids. And so then I'll start that negative self-talk, and you just have to reverse that. Like, no, I am a good mom. And, just because I don't have my dishes done and I don't have the laundry done doesn't make me a bad person, right? You just have to reverse that and be confident in, who you are, and just know those areas that you need to work on. And I think a lot of that has to do with time management. It does for me anyway. When I manage my time better, it seems like my house is in better order. I have dinner cooked at the right time. As far as that goes, like, I'm probably not the best person to give advice on balance. But for me, when I do have it balanced, and, I set certain times, for my work and to do my laundry and to do the dishes and to do grocery shopping, and just kind of plan it out. But again, not beating yourself up when it doesn't go as planned. I do that. Like, when I have my day planned and then it doesn't go as planned, I seem to kick myself for that, and sometimes, let's face it, life just doesn't go as planned sometimes. But as far as that goes, I think you just have to give yourself a little bit of grace and just kind of work on time management. And I think we've talked about that, Eat That Frog from Brian Tracy, who is the same author of that No Excuses book that we're reading. And, one of the things that we were talking about is self-confidence. And, this is going to go back to being a coach. Self-confidence in being a coach. And I think that goes to a lot of areas. And, what we're trying to do with this Revive group is getting back to the basics of coaching. And that is being proof that the products work. Drinking your Shakeology every single day, working out every single day, and showing that you're in love with these products. As a coach, you're not trying to sell, you're trying to share, and you're trying to change lives. And that's what we have to get back to. That's why I love our July Change Lives post in our group, because it's not just about a Success Club point, it's about a life that we're trying to impact. And I think we have to get back to that, and not just how many Success Club points can I get and how much money can I make this month. And so when you really build up your confidence in that, then you're going to be able to change more lives. And so you have to think about it that way and in that perspective. And so as a coach for myself, it's when I work on my own nutrition and I have to take a step back and look at that. For me, I can exercise. I don't truly miss a whole lot of my workouts. But my nutrition always needs improvement. So I feel more confident when I'm following the meal plan, right? And so, yeah, I can give myself a little bit of grace and say, well, it's okay if I had a little bit more peanut butter than I was supposed to have, but let's be real, that's not my problem. But, I feel more confident when I'm doing things the right way, Same thing with the rest of the vital behaviors, when you know that you're doing things as far as you're inviting, when you're posting on social media, you're going to have a greater impact because people are going to see you being real, right? They're going to see you being consistent. Because how many times do you see someone that is, and this is not to take away from any other network marketing, but a rodent and fields rep, or, an advocate, or, any other network marketing, that they come in for a little bit and then they're gone, right? And you're like, well, how long are they going to do that? You don't want people to think that about you. You're in this for the long haul. Why? Because you want to change a life. You're not doing this just for you. Yes, you get to make an income to supplement your family, but your income is a direct reflection of how many lives that you are going to change because of this. Go ahead, Keisha.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to add in when you were talking about confidence and just doing it. I think so often in life, and especially with coaching, we do lack that confidence of inviting people and some of those tough things. But I think we often think about when we started anything new. So when you started your first job, right? You weren't confident in what your job tasks were for a good while, right? Until you continue to do them day in and day out. It doesn't matter what the job was, But, you know, if it's something on a computer or something, there's a learning curve there. There's just that you just have to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And then finally it becomes something that is more natural or second nature and that kind of thing. And I think that's that way with anything. And the fake it till you make it, like Mandy said, it's funny because my teachers in physical therapy school told us that all the time, fake it till you make it. Because why? Because they knew we had the knowledge, right? They knew we had been given all the knowledge and power, but we just had to have the self-confidence in ourselves that we could go out there and put that knowledge to work, right? That we could share what we have learned or what we have experienced, and that we can change the lives of others. That's why I became a physical therapist, because I wanted to change the lives of others. I wanted to help people, you know, get better and get back on their feet and things like that. And that is still the piece that I love about my job. Now, unfortunately, healthcare is not all the glam and glitz that you think it is until you get in there. And that's not all that's the fun part of my job, but that's not the part of the job I get to do very much. And I remember coming out as a PT, you know, here I am, I have this doctorate degree, and I'm going even on these clinical rotations, or when I'm first out and I have my first big girl job and I've passed my boards and I have a license, and I'm like, really? People are going to come to me and nobody's helping me and watching me. But what did it take? It just took me doing it every single day, me going in there and just giving myself that confidence. I don't know how much self-talk I did when I first became a physical therapist of like, you got this, you know what to do. Like, you know, and I would come home even at night and I would be like, my mind would never shut off. You know, I was just thinking about all these things, you know, that I need to do. Was I doing the right thing? Back and forth, all this negative self-talk and banter, back and forth with that. So my point is that with anything new, it's not just with coaching. We so often lack confidence in the beginning, even if we know we have value to add to the lives of others. So if you've been in a challenge group and you've experienced these products and you're currently experiencing them now and you're having this life change, you're seeing how much it's helping you, that's all you need to be a good coach. You have the knowledge. Knowledge is power. You just have to have the confidence to go out there and share that with other people and share it. You have to share you and share your struggles and share your life experiences. And that's what's going to help someone else. So that's my piece on confidence. I know when I started as a PT, my confidence level sucked. I've been a PT now for 5 years, and the only way I got to be a better health practitioner is just by practice. Every single day, doing the same behaviors over and over got me to where I am now. So that's my advice.
Thank you for sharing. And that's true. I think for anything new that you do, no matter what, you know, if it's a social situation or a new job or new friends that you meet, you know, it takes a little while for that confidence to build up. And that's exactly what I was talking about, you know, about faking it until you make it. And especially in your coaching, because I know, you know, a lot of times you're a little fearful of, you know, making a post on social media, you know, because it's not the norm to be a network marketer. And, you know, you don't want, you know, like, what are people going to think of me? But I always acted like a rock star before I was one in coaching. Always, you know, and that doesn't mean that I lied about anything, because I didn't. But you have to think of yourself like that, because you are. And just like Keisha said, like, you have all the knowledge, you have all the tools, and you have the ability to change a life. You have the ability to make impact on others and to share that and to duplicate that, you know, and that's what you have to think about. So a year from now, think of where you could be, and not just where you could be, what you could do, you know, me sharing with Keisha and Keisha sharing with Natalie and Natalie sharing with her challengers. That gives me chills just to think about that, of the ripple effect that all of this has on it, because just like I was saying in my video the other day, as a personal trainer, I can only reach the people in my small little town. And I love that. And I got so much joy from the people that I got to work with one-on-one. But very quickly, I saw the effect that this had of all the people that I could reach, and that all the people that my coaches could reach. And it's just amazing, the accountability and the support in the community. But we have to get confident. That confident level has to boost, and you just have to share that with others, because you're not trying to sell anything. Quit trying to sell things. We don't sell, we share. And that's why we've talked about revamping some of the coach training. We don't want you to say, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach, come by for me. Yuck, that's gross. Nobody wants to do that. You're just sharing your journey, sharing how this has made you feel from the inside out, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's not just about losing 10 to 15 pounds. It's about how you feel. How do you feel more confident? Is your self-esteem better? Is your skin clearer? Is your hair growing stronger? How about your nails? How's your sex life? Those types of things. Like, be vulnerable as far as all that goes. But anyway, just be confident in all those things, because I think a lot of times we let fear, and I think that's another topic, we let fear hold us back a lot of times from sharing, and that can hold us back from being successful coaches as well. Because a lot of times I'll sit and I'll type up a post, and I'm like, oh, should I post that? I think that might offend so-and-so. And then I'm like, nah, and now I'm to a point, I don't care who it offends, because I'm who I am. And if it offends somebody, guess what? They're not my people anyway. So they can unfollow, they can block me. It doesn't matter, because I am who I am. And you have to get a point in your life where you are that confident, where you're confident enough that whatever you say, it does not matter what. And I don't mean like it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about me, not that kind of attitude, but you want your people. This is our tribe, right? You want your vibe to attract your tribe, is what I'm trying to say. So.
And people are attracted to confidence.
Yeah.
Like, people are attracted to confidence. And if you think they can't feel if you're confident or not, you're crazy. Like, people, even on social media and messaging, like, if you're not confident in what you have to share and what you have to offer people, if you retreat and be like, yeah, it is a little pricey. Yeah, I like it okay. It's pretty. Why in the world would anybody want to join you? But if you are passionate about what has happened to you and what how it's changing your life, people are going to feel that if you're sharing that. And I tell people, absolutely, that hands down, you will not regret this. It will be such a great decision. And if you're worried, it's 100% money back guarantee. If you don't like it, if you're not successful, I want you to return it. If it's not for you, I want to help you return it. I'm not looking to take your money. I'm looking to help you change your life. And people can feel that confidence. Just think about if your doctor came in the room and you were telling him your symptoms, and he was like, yeah, I remember studying that medical school, but it's not real sure. If he wasn't confident in what he was telling you, then you'd be like, okay, I'm going to get a different doctor. It's the same way with anything in life, right? Like, you have to be confident in what you have. And if you're not confident, again, I think it's because you haven't had that moment yet where you've either hit rock bottom or that you've really allowed these products to change your life. You haven't really accepted it fully. And if you're not confident in your inviting, it's because you're not knowledgeable enough to understand how to do that yet. Maybe you haven't been through trains, or maybe you haven't been through the resources and things like that. For me, I just truly believe that when you have a life-changing emotional experience with something backed with knowledge, it's easy to give that to other people. So if you're missing one of those components, that might be why your confidence is low.
I totally agree with that. And I'm glad you brought that point up, that people can read through that low confidence, even through text messaging or messaging on Facebook. Because, if you ask somebody, just like the girl that I was talking to today, asking are you interested? I have stopped asking if people are interested. I tell them, I want you on my team. let's do this. Let's talk about it. Are you available tomorrow at 10? Are you available tomorrow at 7? And no, like, you're not telling me no. Like, I'm telling you, I want you, and some of them ignore me. I'll be quite honest. A lot of them ignore me, but a lot of them get on the phone with me, or some of them just say, no, I'm not interested. And that's okay too, because then guess what? I can ask for a referral. Like, okay, great. I understand you're not interested, but this is what I do for a living. So I'm looking for people that are interested. Do you have anybody that comes to mind? So you have to think about it this way. And when I was talking to this girl on the phone, I didn't always do it this way. So these are things that you learn, and that's why I'm teaching you to try to mentor you this way. Is when I was talking to her on the phone, I used to do it this way. If you join, this is what's going to happen. And if you decide that this is what you want to do, this is what's going to happen. Now here's how I say it. When you join, I will be sending you a coach checklist, and you will be enrolled in my new coach training. See how that's different? I'm already saying, I know you're going to join me, and I know you're going to be a coach on my team, and you're going to love our community. Our coach calls are on Thursday nights. You're going to love it. You're going to meet me at Summit next year in July. Okay? She's already on our team. I can't wait to announce you in our team page. It's going to be so awesome. You're going to love our culture. Like, that is so different than, I hope that you join us. If you have questions, let me know. It's completely different. Now, it might take a little while for you to get there. I understand. I get it, because just a couple weeks ago, it was hard for me to send out a message saying, you're on my dream team. I want you on my team. Like, I would send it and be like, do this number, because I was like, they're going to think I'm crazy. But, it really just takes some time to build that confidence. So like I said, you just have to take that action. And people were starting to read into my lack of confidence in recruiting coaches that were actually wanting to work the business. I didn't have a problem recruiting coaches that just were discount coaches or just wanted to do this for a little bit of fun, but actually working coaches. And now I feel like I am at a point to where I'm recruiting coaches that actually want to work. And that's what you have to do. You have to talk to them, even not just coaches. Like, I don't want to talk just about coaches, but challengers. When you ask somebody to join you for a challenge group, and Keisha had a really good message the other day when she was reconnecting with somebody. Do you want to share about that a little bit, Keisha, how you reconnected and you didn't just ask them if they wanted to join? Do you remember?
Yeah. So it was somebody like I hadn't talked to since like the beginning of the month, like since July, and they were like all on board and ready, and so they wanted to get Shakeology or whatever. And then like I don't know, I wrote them back one other time and they hadn't responded, and like that was just it. And it was like 10 days later, and instead of saying like, hey, I just want to check and see if you're still interested, I was like, hey, things got crazy. We haven't chatted in a while, or whatever. Instead, I was like, what flavor Shakeology do you want? I'm so pumped. Our, group is starting, blah, blah, blah. I'm ready to send you the link now. And her response, she just told me her flavor in her email, and I sent it right on. So that's it. She'll be in the challenge group. So if I had addressed her as in, because I've done this forever, lots of times, are you still interested? Hey, I don't want to bother you, but are you still interested? Now when I'm like, hey, I want to get you in this group, we're getting ready to start, I'm sending out emails, blah, blah, I'm sitting here getting ready, doing this, people are like, oh yeah, that's right. I want to do this. I had a girl just message me right between calls here, and I sent her the link last week, and she's been like back and forth, and she's like, okay, I'm filling this thing out, like I need a push to push purchase, like blah, blah. And I'm like, you're going to push purchase because you're going to do this, and it's going to change your life, and you're going to be so flipping pumped, and I can't wait to get you started next week. So push it so we can get going. I can send you all the goodies. Next thing, all right, I just purchased. Talk to you soon. But if I'd been like, yeah, girl, I know, it's a big decision. It's tough. Well then, but if you're like, because that's how I believe. And if you're not there to believe that yet, that you might be like, well, gosh, I can't say that. But I believe that because it seriously did change my life. It gave me this confidence. You knew me in April of last year and before. I was not like confident and necessarily bubbly, and I was probably crying all the time, honestly. Anytime anybody would look at me or talk to me, I would probably cry. And I'm not a crier. I cried because I was so angry with just everything. And so I wasn't always this confident, but this truly did change my life. It truly did give me my life back, my health back, my confidence back, a purpose back, a fulfillment. So if you're just starting your journey, you should have that to look forward to. Like, don't give up on you if you're just starting with this, because it really is that powerful. And if you have already experienced that and maybe you went off of it for a while, like, remember that. Remember the feeling of empowerment and the feeling of success that you got, and have that to help drive you. And think of it as a gift that you're giving someone else, an opportunity. For me, I feel like if I don't offer it to people, like, I'm selfish, because it really can do that for them.
Okay. Gonna wrap this up. Does anybody have any questions or any concerns? Doesn't have to be about confidence. It can be about anything. No? Okay. All right. Well, I hope you guys have an awesome week. We will see you next Thursday. I think we do have somebody doing our call next Thursday. I can't remember who it is, sorry, off the top of my head, but I think we have a guest that's going to be with us. So I will see you guys next Thursday then. Bye, guys.
Bye.